Hello there, y'all. I'm Rain. This is Fennec Fables, where we delve into fun things about tabletop role-playing games, including prompts, ideas, stories, and even systems. In this video, I'm going to be broaching the topic about death as a player character in tabletop games. It is definitely a touchy subject for many, as we all get very attached to the PCs that we make and engaged with the world as, but I feel that there are some boons that come along with the pain of loss. I'm hopefully, if not fully able to convince you, then to at least give you some ideas to mull over and consider. With the intro blurb handled though, if y'all can hit the subscribe button down below, and if you're feeling particularly generous, the bell icon, and let's get into the video, shall we? In TTRPGs, we make a person that we use as our viewpoint or entrance to fantastic worlds. Depending on the tone or theme of a game, as well as its goals, there can be many various challenges to contend with, and even fear to an extent, and one of the ultimate fears in most tabletop role-playing games is the fear of a player character's death. Not every game will have this on the threat, obviously, because some tables are looking for a more relaxed or cozy game, or may not even have that on the menu for some reason. But for games with a focus on struggle, strategy, and survival, I feel it's a must. Often viewed as the ultimate consequence, I can easily see why it's feared. Depending on the game, you can easily have spent hours just on making their personality, history, and even their voice. But in a way, I think this is actually a reinforcement of a game's play ethos, as the more attached and concerned with your player character you become, the more inclined we are to make decisions that keep them safe. I was going to try to avoid a numbered list of benefits, as I don't really think this video suits that, but I will say that the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to the benefit of death is that it makes you want to preserve life. The beating of one's heart and the tension rising at a table as everyone's backs are to the wall and you have to really see the bigger picture. What ways and avenues of success are still there really amps up the fun factor, in my opinion. Without the tension of fear or failure, I don't think a game is really a game. At that point, you're just telling a story without consequences. Think back to those moments at your table that really stand out. What are some of the most exciting, tense, or dire moments you can recall? The ones that you still share stories about to this day. I'm willing to bet that a good portion of them were tense moments where life, either your own or someone else's, hung in the balance. There's also something to be said about moments where you know there's no way out and this is your last stand. That time to leave a grand exit and potentially even a chance for victory for those that come after you. If that's the sort of thing that actually excites you, then I actually have something that is just for you. Yup, that's right, y'all. There's a new game that came out on Kickstarter on February 3rd that I'm delighted to say I've had the experience of playing and get to share with you now. To cover some of my own personal bases, I am being paid via an affiliate link to promote this product, but my opinions are my own and have not been influenced by that.
Ask me to do their stuff, and then I look at it and says, this isn't something I would want to play. I'm not going to promote it.
Suffice it to say, it is something I'd play. This is a first for the channel, so I want to set the precedence that I'm going to be doing my best due diligence and keeping myself honest and upfront with all of y'all. Let's just say this was an amazing game and I can't wait to talk to y'all about it. Prequel is a game that was developed by Ethan Yen and James Quigley and uses the Lumen 2.0 system. This game is a one-shot for 2 to 4 players that's meant to set up the world and events of an entire fictional campaign, all while you're in the middle of a climactic boss fight that you're destined to lose. As the tagline of the game goes, you will fall, but you are not the end. This one-shot is a phenomenal way of a group world building and preparing the groundwork for an entire actual full campaign to follow, including the ways to finally defeat the great scourge that felled your predecessors, that being your PCs from the prequel game, hence the title. You and the other players will use a wide swath of options to make your party members. As you do so, you will be building the entire fabric of the actual campaign. Starting off, you do a world building setup that includes you deciding on genre, theme, scale, climate, reasons, and even setting your boundaries, all acting like a very effective session zero all rolled up into the play itself. Following this, you and the others will make decisions that will create a timeline of events as well as key NPCs of the game that you're also attempting to manipulate to accomplish goals for boons and benefits in the fight you're in. As you do this and push through the phases, you're trying to bank advantages and information that you will decide on a way to leave behind for those that follow. From my play experience, it is just a ticket for those tables that revel in drama and want to have a true climactic ending, even if it is a little bittersweet. There of course is a free demo version available that will be linked down below, but I'd be so appreciative y'all would check out the Kickstarter and give it backing using my affiliate link code down below. The Kickstarter is running from February 3rd to the 16th, with a digital copy only being $10 and the printed one for a mere $20. I've not gotten to see the full finished product, but from the play experiences I've had, the rules seem solid and the art we've seen so far is absolutely gorgeous, especially the cover art by Carly AF, which I feel really evokes the kind of game tone it's driving at. If this sounds like the kind of game you would vibe with, I'd love to hear about it from y'all down below. If you do end up getting it and playing it, I'd love to hear about your play experiences and just, again, put it down below in the comments. In my play of the game, I ended up paired with Anya, who was fun to bounce ideas back and forth with, as they made a rebellious vocal leader and I made a reserved hermit who was pulled into the struggle to stop the corruption of a dastardly fiend in what was originally our home region. In the tail end of our story, as we realized that we weren't going to make it, I was able to pass off a treasured sapling from my home to them and act as a distraction, giving them just enough time to lock in and preserve the info we had learned that could then be used to defeat the fiend.
I think that's really cool. I have an idea that sets you up for that, so if you don't mind.
Oh, do tell. I love collaboration.
I really enjoy how it enforces collaboration in the fiction and in our combat. We bonded and left a legacy that was a mixture of the two of us. This actually pulls me into the next thing I feel is so keenly important with character death in TTRPGs, which is how it can strengthen and reinforce the bonds of those that are left behind. For those that are new to the channel or maybe have not seen my posts on my socials, Pluto, my beloved pitbull, recently passed just before Christmas and was actually part of what prompted this video in the first place, as I wrestled with what I could take away from this passing. One of the biggest things I was able to take away was just the sheer outpouring of love and support from everyone he's affected by being there and loving them and helping them. The same can be said about your PC's bonds with both your other players, but the characters that they've interacted with. In TTRPGs and even stories in general, the death of someone's character can strengthen the bonds or even test those around them. To see where the resolve is of a group and bring others to a cause, be it a martyr or for vengeance. There are many brilliant examples of death on a group being the rallying cry for others to band together and push on. A shift from what was once comedic or jovial to a true call to arms. In a more abstract sense, think of the scene from Mulan. Initially, for all those involved, it wasn't all that real to them, the war that was going on, but upon seeing the resulting deaths of others, they all became far more focused and further resolved to push themselves into a fight. Another example showing how a death can be used to manipulate is Agent Coulson's death in the Avengers movies.
Cards. They were in Coulson's locker, not in his jacket.
They needed the push.
We have an unauthorized departure from base.
It was used as propaganda to push people to action and even as a lead into other promising stories if you happen to watch the TV side of things. That leads me into one of my last thoughts on this. The chance to leave a legacy and mark in the narrative and even potentially change the whole story around it. There are many great moments in stories where someone takes their last stand and that whole thing of, I'll hold the line, go. That moment where it's just so thrilling to read or see, and for tables especially, those that are looking for drama and excitement, is one hell of a way to send off a PC. On the reverse side of things, it's also possible to have the comedic death that continued to be a joke that is carried over for years and laughed at and enjoyed. Be it that time someone fell off a cliff or opened the wrong door and got snagged into a diabolical trap. No matter the way it went down, there is the undeniable proof that in your game, your passing can utterly change a story, and if you embrace the risk of that, you can leave an indelible change that can lead your group to a whole new destination. If, for example, your group was off to another city to set up a base, but your group cleric was taken out by a bandit ambush as an example, your group just may now decide that their focus will be to eradicate them and the need for banditry in this region forever. The key thing is to engage with and have fun with it, whichever way the die falls and the moment goes. Engage with the scene and the resolution results as they come up. I want to encourage people to see the death of a PC as a moment in their game that has weight, both in the emotion of loss, but also in the repercussions, good and bad, it will have in the story of your game. Swing for the fences and let their last moments be something that is spoken about in the game world and at your table for a long time to come. To look back at the journey they had and love every moment of it. With that, I think I'm going to do the little sign-off thing, thanking you all for watching today, and I hope I gave you some interesting things to think about. I'd love for y'all to share down in the comments any of the many funny, dramatic, or epic PC deaths you've had in your games. I'm sure you've had some interesting ones from over the years. If you can, please do be sure to check out the Kickstarter, and if you snag anything, be sure to use my affiliate link down below. It really does help me out. It's running from February 3rd to the 16th, so by this video's release, there should be plenty of time for you guys to give it a check out and talk with me about it. If you can, also give this video a like, a share, or especially a subscribe, as it really helps as I'm working on getting more of these videos out. I've been working on my way to 500 subscribers and I'm really close, so each new subscriber really brings a smile to my face. If you enjoy answering TTRPG prompts or questions, please join me on Blue Sky, where I post daily, which is in the description down below and linked on the main channel page. Who knows, your responses may be part of a future video. If you have any suggestions for future topics, I'm always interested in what folks would like to hear, and you can send them either by email or by joining the channel Discord, where you can chat with me and fellow cool people. Usually this is where I'd put up a cute photo of Pluto, but instead I'm going to show off something that our local rescue that we adopted him from gave us after hearing about the passing. Be sure to hug your pets extra today, and make sure to keep your eyes out for the next video where I'll be sharing something extra special at the end. Thank you guys so much for your patience as I took a little break to grieve, and I hope that you guys can enjoy the stuff that I have coming in the future. Thanks again, y'all, and I hope these ideas were useful to you and help you tell better tales. Bye.